Could you please state your name and the office that you're seeking?
My name is Bill Hogg. I am running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Wise County.
What required training does Texas law mandate for JPs, and how will you go beyond in minimum requirements?
The first year, a new JP has to have 80 hours of training, and I believe that it is mandated to be offered by the TJCTC, I believe it is. I think it's part of Southwest. I think it's part of Texas State, if I remember correctly. And every year after that, you have to have 20 hours of recurrent training. I think you asked me what's another way you can keep up with your training?
Or to go beyond the minimum?
To go beyond. Okay. One way that's always been part of my life in law enforcement is visiting with other law enforcement officers, because we all keep up with trends. We all keep up with case law. It would be the same thing as a justice of the peace. Conferring with other JPs in your area, you're likely to know other JPs in other counties in the state, but you can also, besides the 80 and the 20, you can also sign up for more classes than what are required. Because just like where I come from, where the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement required a certain amount of training every year, you could also go online and get extra courses. It's the same thing with being a justice of the peace. You can always sign up and get extra courses. And if you have a deficiency or an area of interest, that would be something I would do. And of course, watching social media and the news and reading for yourself, podcasts, that kind of thing. And of course, going on the internet and learning about different topics on your own is also a good idea. You can do it at your own pace to your own satisfaction.
Texas JPs serve as magistrates and they conduct inquests.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you approach these responsibilities, especially in sensitive cases?
These types of things are not for everyone. I'd like to point that out first. Getting called out in the middle of the night, nights, weekends, and holidays is not for everyone. Seeing the bloody, gory details and remnants at a crime scene or a fatal accident scene or suicide is not for everyone. The dead deserve respect. It's just like, when I was in law enforcement, you didn't talk about the cases that you worked on where someone was killed, arrested. It's all, their private business and our professional business. It'd be the same thing with the justice of the peace. You never know when something you mention might be linked to another crime, and it might tip off suspects. It might, there's any number of reasons that you have to keep things close to the vest.
Mm-hmm. And can you explain for our viewers what an inquest is, what it entails?
Yes, an inquest is an investigation into a death. A justice of the peace would go to a scene. They would talk to witnesses. They would look at evidence left at the scene. They would most likely order an autopsy with, I'm not sure what, maybe Tarrant County or the Dallas County coroner's office. I'm not their medical examiner's office. I'm not sure who the JP in this county uses anymore. It used to be the Tarrant County office whenever I was a trooper here. But anyway, based on your findings, the testimony of witnesses, and I think a large part on what the autopsy and the, what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily toxic, forensic report. I think that's going to lead you down the road to the truth. Inquests, there's several things listed when an inquest will be ordered. A few of them are going to be a child less than 6. When someone dies, maybe a natural cause, but they're not under the care of a physician. Anytime there's a crime involved, there's about 7 or 8 things. Those are the only ones I can remember right now, though.
What changes, if any, would you advocate for at the county or the state level to improve the JP courts?
It may seem like an easy answer, but I can't think of anything. one thing that's attractive to me about the Office of Justice of the Peace is you don't have to be an attorney. And that's been a successful recipe for longer than I've been alive. So I don't think one needs to be an attorney to be a Justice of the Peace or even be a successful Justice of the Peace. Maybe more specialized training. I'm not certain of any specific areas, but training never hurts anything.
What role should discretion play in criminal cases involving minors?
Well, there are so many things in the law enforcement world that cannot be disclosed about a minor's criminal record, psychological issues that they've had. And same thing with Justice of the Peace Office. Those details for a juvenile they should remain secret. Allowing certain details could harm the development of a young individual. It could be embarrassing for them. It could cause a rebellious pattern, maybe of something where they feel like they need to strike out again and commit another violent offense, if it's a violent offense that we're talking about. But it's just like law enforcement to me. It must remain their personal business and our professional business.
Why should voters trust you with this responsibility?
Well, I know that we can't introduce all my friends and all my family, but anyone that knows me well will tell you that I'm known for my integrity, professionalism, my common sense, my sound judgment. If I am elected, I would implement professionalism and integrity. And I had a train of thought and I lost it. Ask me that question one more time, please.
Why should voters trust you with this responsibility?
Okay. I would say the performance of my professional life up to now. I've been a peace officer in Texas for 37 years. Never had a formal complaint. Never been investigated. I am used to working on offenses that must remain confidential. The Office of Justice of the Peace must have accountability and responsibility for all the funds and all the fines and fees that go through that office. In one former position after my retirement, I was entrusted with a $1.6 million budget. Never had any problems with any misuse of funds or missing funds or theft or anything like that. Integrity has always been one of my strongest suits. I do what I say, and I say what I do, and I'll do what's right.